with no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games to play, can't take it personal.
Cause the devil is a lie. Hey, I'm telling you the truth. Hey, it's all in what you do. Hey, some things you gotta do. Hey, 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 hey. Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. All right. Let's talk about this. It's since it's the elephant in the room. Bud fans ain't gonna like this video. Bud fans ain't gonna like this video. Remix. Bud fans, ring it back one time, selector. Bud fans ain't gonna like this video. Let's just call it down the middle. Let's just call it what it is. Bud says he don't do interviews with people that don't like him. Listen, first of all, I told you and your team something 3 years ago that you would have got maybe $8 to $10 million for fighting Kell Brook last night, if that would have been your opponent. Obviously, by the way PBC works, you would have gotten Sean Porter a long time ago. Don't know about Keith Thurman, but for sure you would have fought Sean Porter because that's their litmus test. They just pay handsomely for Sean Porter to believe that he has a chance at winning. And you chose to stay on that side of the street. And when a person makes wrong decisions publicly, it calls for a public response. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, your interviews are not that important. Like that for real. I'll just say that respectfully. I don't care to get an interview. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not the guy that chases people down that don't like me. Totally cool with that. You know what I mean? And you can go somewhere else with that. You're not gonna you can't disrespect a man and ask him to humble himself before you. And other media outlets might do it. You know, I can't control them. I really can't. And this pandemic, before I continue, has shown me what boxing really is. Boxing don't give a fuck about the fans. Boxing don't give a fuck about the fans. You know what I mean? Got caught up in the hoopla when I had legs on both sides of the fence, meaning that I had to report the business of boxing and respect the wishes of the fans. Boxing, you gotta have that duality in you. You know what I'm saying? You got to explain it to people. You know, but at the end of the day, it's about the fans. You know what I mean? And the fans want to fight, and that's what it should be. Bud needs to have that same testicular fortitude that he has against me, against Bob Arum. It's Bob Arum's signature that's holding you back. We saw the interview. Why aren't you getting the fights? Well, ask him. Well, how about you shame him publicly? Or at least attempt to. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. And that's the bigger picture with us as a whole. I'm gonna tell you two things, facts that's gonna happen. He disrespected a lot of media outlets, right? And a lot of black media outlets, LDBC, New Media. Some he do interviews with, most of them he don't. And the question is, at the end of the day, how much is your self-worth? Like, for real, how much is your self-worth in comparison to compromising doing an interview? At the end of the day, I'd rather have my integrity than have a Terrence Crawford interview. I'm not going out of my way for a Terrence Crawford interview. Nah, not one bit. I saw what they did, and now I know that they move as a frequency. You know what I mean? Because I reached out to Jamel Herring for an interview. You know what I mean? And I actually wanted to help build his brand, you know. Great story. But now I know that Terrence Crawford and them move as a unit. So I reached out to Bomac for an interview because I thought he, you know, he's jokey. So I don't really care about insults, man. I'm dark skinned and short. You know what I mean? I made it out the foxhole called urban America. So I'm really over the insults and shit. Not much insults me at this time. So I can handle Bomac. You know what I mean? And I thought he played both sides of the fence, him being the manager and the promoter, right? But they move as a unit. And at the end of the day, 10 years from now, when we look back at Terrence Crawford's career, he never fought the fighters he was supposed to in his prime because he lashed out on media and never lashed out at Bob Arum. And that's the flat out truth. This should have been going on a long time ago. If Floyd Mayweather buys his contract out for $750,000, shouldn't that be in the game plan? You made $4 million last night. I shouldn't even be giving you this game, but you should be leveraging your promotional fees and your managerial fees that you got to pay towards Top Rank to get out of that fucking contract and become a free agent and negotiate a fight with, man. Anyways, man, I'll just say this. At the end of the day, man, this speaks volumes to how America has trained us to be. And honestly, this video is gonna get a lot of dislikes and a lot of negative comments. And if you leave a negative comment, make sure you leave 2 of them, at least 3. You understand what I'm saying? So we can build this algorithms, because it's gonna make sense to 5 or 10 to 20 black men that hears this. All right. They trained us to be rah, rah, rah towards one another. But they trained us to be subservient and negotiate with the white man. The white man being Bob Arum, Top Rank in this case. And that's the truth. He's mad at a media member. He lashes out at a media member, won't lash out publicly against Bob Arum, who's taken millions upon millions upon millions of dollars out of his check, 1. And 2, not getting him the big fights to make his brand brighter and bigger. That's the truth. Every fighter says this shit when they retire. I've never interviewed not one retired fighter and them not say boxing is a dirty game. I've never not do it. We saw it right in front of our eyes. The co-main event, we saw there was not a headbutt. We saw it with our own eyes. Everyone that I'm willing to bet at least maybe 2 million people was watching that fight, maybe. And everyone saw it. No headbutt. But what they do right in front of us? No contest. Huh? The young man won. He earned the right. He made weight. He's fighting for a title. He should have won the title, and it should have been a 3rd fight, immediate rematch. You understand what I'm saying? So we see the tea leaves, but everyone wants to deflect. Everyone wants to say Fred is the problem. Well, if Fred is the problem, it's your choice to listen. I don't send emails out telling y'all motherfuckers to come and watch. I don't send motherfucking like, you're not obligated to watch this. Obviously, you have a burning desire to watch it, and I have a right to comment on anything that's done publicly. I have a right to do it. It's a public platform. A public action doesn't deserve it, but qualifies for a public response. And that's the truth. So and that's the truth, man. We got to learn to ultimately know who's really oppressing us. Yeah, a comment here and a comment there, and like I stand by this. I need Bud to show me if he's great or not. He beat Kell Brook. Yeah. You know what I mean? I bet Kell Brook last night as an insurance plan. You know what I mean? $200. You know what I mean? That's what I would spend on an average Saturday night if it was no coronavirus. You know what I mean? Paying for friends, dinner, hanging out, whatever we do. So I stayed home, watched the fight, paid $200. It's okay. As I said, someone said, do you really think he's going to win? I said, it's like having car insurance, just in case. That $200 could have been $2,300. I'll take that. Who wouldn't take that risk? That's a 2,000% markup. I take that risk. You know what I'm saying? So, um, um, so black man, and I only can speak to black man. All right, you got to start looking at where the true source of your oppression is coming from. You understand the same way 9 out of 10 black folk voted. What up, Terrence Bailey? Black folk voted for Joe Biden is the same reason why Terrence Crawford won't lash out at Bob Arum publicly. I've only made multiple videos. I don't know how many over the last year. Many videos. But I've never directly taken money out of Terrence Crawford's pocket like Bob Arum. And that's the truth. As you guys know this, we are extending ourselves beyond the sport of boxing because this coronavirus has taught me that the people who are in charge of boxing has never fought around. And the truth of the matter is they're going to use that to manipulate the masses because one, these networks control the media, right? Disney, Fox. So they have the ability to send out a message and it hits millions of people, and then you got independent media outlets such as myself who got to combat that, and it takes more time, for us to combat that, but at the end of the day, we all know boxing lives on YouTube. There's no on a daily basis. So every time you do a video, I do a video, we do a video, it gets to the people it needs to get to, and it has to. There's not a lot of integrity in boxing, and that's what I'm learning to understand, because I'll use me as the example. Integrity is when you see something going on wrong, and no matter what your circumstances is or the punishment thereafter, you correct the wrong or advocate against the wrong. You know what I mean? And I saw a lot of people shun a blind. I mean, what is it called? Blind eye me or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know, and I can handle that because I, you know, I'm a god. I turn water into wine every day. I don't wait to die to go to die to go to heaven to be a god. I'm a god right now. You know what I mean? And that's my mindset. I didn't know, and I want you guys to understand this because some of you guys are thinking about changing jobs, betting on yourself. Let's think about this in a broader picture. I didn't know how much I was being held back having a credential. I didn't. Now I can say what I want without recourse. Don't bother me. It don't bother me one bit. Nah, people don't like me. It's okay. I just tell the truth. You understand? And people want to be delicate, tap dance around the truth. And sometimes your job, and in my case, my credentials, holds me back. You understand what I'm saying? I couldn't give 100% because I had to compromise a piece of myself to get us, the community, information that I thought I was doing a good job at speaking up for us. I didn't care about Canelo and all that. I truly don't. And I mean levels, like I care, but it's a vast difference. You don't see me going out of my way saying Canelo's the pound for pound best fighter or doing videos on Canelo. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, you got to bet on yourself at the end of the day. All right. You bet on yourself. You wake up when you want to. You don't have an alarm clock. And you got to build the confidence to do it at the end of the day. And right now, Terrence Crawford didn't say anything bad about Bob Arum last night. He still believes he's going to get Manny Pacquiao. That was a smokescreen, Terrence Crawford. He was never going to get Manny Pacquiao. I have text messages in my phone from Manny Pacquiao's camp that I reported. You were never going to fight him. Manny Pacquiao was looking for an event. He's not in the same position as Floyd Mayweather, but he's looking for something like that. You know, he may have to fight a real fighter, but it has to be for buku money. Bob Arum told you was helium in that balloon, but it was just air. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing but hot air. You was never gonna fly away and to the Middle East and have that fight. The COVID was convenient to get out of that. Just speak the truth. And in between all those lines, he told you that he's not putting up the money so you can fight Manny Pacquiao. Did you read between that at all? I don't think you did. He said the money was there. And then Terrence Crawford says the money wasn't all there. Well, if the money isn't all there, how about you ask Bob Arum to fill in the gaps? So it's a misappropriation of energy. People have a right to say what they want on their independent media platforms. And that's the beautiful thing about not having a boss, is that you can say what you want and really speak your heart and speak your truth. Whether I'm right or wrong, I can speak my truth. I can say how I truly feel. You understand what I'm saying? And not be compromised monetarily. And that's what it boils down to. You understand? I never needed the money that I made from boxing. I'm appreciative of it. I want to be compensated for my work. And I knew I never needed it. But in order for me to get the content which y'all wanted and consistently wanted from me, I thought I needed it. You get what I'm saying? And this COVID shit has helped me realize that if you dependent on boxing, you're going to be let down so many times, man. I've resorted to just telling stories. I like that more. You know, I was a history major in college. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm just resorted to telling stories now. I'm just documenting stuff now. You understand what I'm saying? I had my dream interview in less than 3 months being in COVID, man. I interviewed Malcolm X's daughter, man. How cool was that? Y'all know how I feel about Malcolm. Just document history. I don't make videos for today. I've given up on that. My goal is to make videos that 30 years from now, people going to come back and do documentaries on. When I'm long and gone, they're going to call Lincoln and or Kennedy and say, you mind if we use this interview your dad did for a documentary or a film that we're producing? You know what I mean? And hopefully I've ingrained in them that they better start negotiating. You know what I'm saying? I don't really, man, this boxing is fun because it's something that we're entertained by and we're very passionate about. I love boxing, love the sport of boxing. But 9 times out of 10, boxing will not give us what we want. It won't. Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao at 37, 38, 30, somewhere in there. Late 30s. I'll say that. Shit should have happened at 31, 32, somewhere in there. They should have fought 3 times. Manny Pacquiao fought Marquez and Bradley a total of 7 times. He fought Morales. He fought one of them guys, Morales or Barrera. One. I would get them confused when I'm thinking real quick. But he fought them twice, right? He lost one. And how many rematches does he have total, Manny Pacquiao? Floyd and Manny Pacquiao should have fought at least 3 times. But that's the business of boxing. You understand that? That's allowing someone to dictate your destiny. So at the end of the day, man, I think we need to see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is not media. Um, media. The bigger picture is the white man that's controlling you, or your boss that's controlling you. When to do it, when, how to do it, what not to say, when to say it. That's the bigger picture. And unbeknownst to me having that lanyard around my neck, I had a boss. Although I was an independent media outlet, I still had to respect the rules of this game. This game of like charades and we got to play their game. Unbeknownst to me. And then when I started covering fights without one, oh my God, the freedom. Oh my God, especially fight night. The freedom fight night. I can just have my camera and just interview random people and not have to sit in a box. Fighting for I never fought for my credential. Never. Never. It was people who advocated on my behalf because they knew what I represented. But I never once said I need my credential back. Never in my life, because I know how to make it. You understand what I'm saying? If I turned my camera, you'll see LLCs and doctor books and deeds and people that inspired me, and all that's done on my merit. You understand what I'm saying? 2005, 2004. I had to bet on myself, you know? That's the truth. I had to. Dre's in med school. That's $1,500 a month. Got to pay rent. I had a Lexus GS 300 at the time. Got to pay my student loans back. I'm in grad school. You see the overhead? That's at least $8,000 to $10,000 overhead. Had to get a second job. Had to hustle out the trunk legally. I didn't sell drugs, nothing like that. That's definitely not in my scope. I'm a cornball, but whatever I can get my hands on, I flipped. You understand? Whether it was training sessions, I wrote some books, went downtown, bought some things, resold it back uptown, stuff like that. So, but anyways, okay. You gonna smile now? Okay. All right, we doing a video, Ma. Okay, you gotta smile. You gotta smile. You gotta wave. Say hi. All right, I got it. You want to say hi? Go get your blanket. Go get your blanket and come back. Anyways, man, I got to end this video, but at the end of the day, bet on yourself at the end of the day, and don't deflect where the problem is actually coming from. Okay? Don't deflect where the problem is actually coming from. The problem ain't black media. The problem ain't barbershop conversations. The problem is every day, every minute, every hour, you don't speak up on your behalf and attack the monster. That being Top Rank, Top Rank, Bob Arum, Todd LaBeouf, all those guys over there, they get stronger. Just think, we should have put Bob Arum out of business a long time ago. Think about that shit. I'm gonna ask Bob Arum that shit. Are you shocked? Bob Arum might be sitting like, I can't believe I manipulate these people for 60 years. That's amazing. Everyone, black, white, he just did his job. It's not just a black thing. Money's green. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a call Bob sometime this week, and we gonna have a cool conversation. And the funny thing about it is, I'm the only media outlet, the only, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, that can ask Bob Arum these questions and make it a conversation. I'm the only one. The only one. The only one. The only one that can say, Bob Arum, you know that's bullshit. How many times have I said that in the Bob Arum interview? Bob, you know that's bullshit. He gives me like we have the some of the man, we have great conversations, man. You know what I mean? To the point where here's how comfortable I am around anyone. I told Bob Arum, I said, Bob, in an interview, Bob, can we get some black ring girls, man? I'm tired of seeing all this white shit and all this. You know, we need some flavor. You know what I mean? He started cracking up. And that's the reason why the black girl was hired. 3 months later, the black girl was hired. No lie. I can't make this shit up. Don't lie, not one time, not one line. True story. I posted on my Instagram. If you want to hear the story. I'm not discounting her hard work to get prepared for that moment to be selected. But that's how comfortable I am. I don't shun away. Bob knows my stance. Bob knows when he come in here, he's in the barbershop. You know what I mean? But we gonna have a I can't wait to have a conversation with him, man. It's gonna be fun. Oh man. So but anyhow, man, Kennedy done stop crying. You know, they be fighting over the what is that? The iPads because Lincoln knows the code to the iPad. And sometimes he be shutting off our iPad and shit. And he won't punch the code back in. Brother, sister love, man. You gotta love it. So, but anyways, man. Um, but I wish you well. But honestly, I really don't care about your interview. I'm not costing you millions of dollars. Your inability to have that same energy with Bob Arum is costing you millions of dollars. I'm not. It has cost you $1 million and will cost you $1 million in the future. You know what I mean? I'm an outlier. You're not gonna meet too many media members like me. I'm an outlier experience. I'm not that guy. I don't want to hang out with you or go play ping pong against you, or I don't have that desire. Have you ever seen me in the club with a fighter? Nah. Nah, I haven't. You've never seen me. Just don't do it 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean? Go to my Instagram. How many pictures you see me with fighters? Barely any, right? If it's not a storyline attached to it, you know what I mean? Wilder outside of that, you know what I mean? I don't do an interview and then ask for a picture. I repeat, I don't do interviews and then ask for a picture. You know what I'm saying? I've never done that in my life. Never ever done it in my life. Never. Ever. And when I was working for the Sentinel, shit, I was everywhere. I was bumping shoulders with everybody in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Covered the NBA. You've never seen me with a picture with guys in the NBA. Never, ever. No need. Half the NBA parents are my neighbors. Retired NBA players are my neighbors. Michael Cooper, Byron Scott, Reggie Theus. These are my neighbors in real life. Chicago Bears guy lives across the street from me. Literally lives across the street from me. Go figure, man. I'm not that. I'm not impressed. I'm not the seeker. Like, oh man, I gotta get. Nah, that's not. I'm not built that way. I'm gonna respect your talents and your gifts and what you've accomplished, but I don't really have that desire. I'm just calling it a spade. So, anyhow, man, I wish you well, bud. But until you can say Bob Arum's name, I'm not the problem, dog. I've gone. Barbershop conversations, man. Y'all motherfuckers have a great. Oh my God, tonight's show is gonna be fire. We got Brian Cussard in the barbershop, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm just gonna tell the truth. Tell the truth, so help me God. You know what I mean? Barbershop conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Talk to you soon. Peace.